From cattle food, you can extract manure, you can get gas, you can get energy from the food. You look at it as a waste. It's wasting. But there are a lot of things. You can generate gas, electricity, and the manure, which nobody is looking at it in that angle. In Nigeria, we are not utilizing it. And the aim is let this body put that things in order and let people begin to understand and realize it and put it into use.
Well said. Before I go on to my next question, which would be managing the business, because now in Rivers State, in recent times, there's been a lot of complaints and issues with regards to cattle rearing farmers, which is what will bring me to the state chairman. I think he's in a better position to give us some information about this. He might have updated you on what is happening, because we also want to know how the national seeks to help ensure that this business is well managed so it doesn't affect other businesses. Now, quickly, let me just hear from the state chairman, Chief God's Power, Weneda Amadi, AKJP. Sir, good morning.
Good morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Please help us understand. We've heard the national chairman say what he said national president, beg your pardon, say what he said about the association, which is fantastic when you look at it. But you are in Rivers State and you know.
Yes, of course.
What has been happening. And so we've had this conversation several times. What has been happening with herders, livestock rearing? How are we tackling that problem?
Okay, thank you very much for bringing me to the studio over this issue. Truly, as the president just newly inaugurated this body to ensure that we tackle the issue of herders and farmers, which is one of the paramount options of these organizations. I think from the look-up points since I came into power to ensure that, yes, this issue of the herders and farmers become a thing of the past. See, technically, most of these things, we know that sometimes they are politically motivated, and looking at it due to the fact that there is no ministry covering all these things. If there had been any ministry, I think that there are going to be a very big control, laws put in place to ensure that both the farmers have their own way, and then the cattle, the rearers or the breeders have their own way. Nobody will destroy each other's crops. Most the problems we are having in Rivers State, more especially, precisely, is the cattle eating the crops of the farmers. And then the farmers having the advantage to kill the cattle, and that result to conflict. And as a matter of fact, they begin to kill each other due to that conflict of killing the cow, because the least quote-unquote Fulani man love his cow more than any other thing. And when a cow is being killed like that, it looks as if in Fulani life you have killed more than millions of people.
But this is the thing, because if we follow what the national president has said, is trying to see how we can tap into the business perspective of this. So if it's business, aren't there certain business principles that are put in place? Maybe I'll come to the national president to respond to this, because you've heard him highlight it. But are there national principles, business principles that the national body is looking at to see how can we get this information across so that everyone understands that this is a private business, and see how we can manage it that way?
Okay. You see, the problem we have in Nigeria today is when you talk about cattle, people only think about Fulani man. That is what comes to their mind. If you mention cattle, the next thing that comes to the person is Fulani man. A cattle business is not a Fulani man business. It can be anybody's business. Go to Thailand, go to Holland, go to America, go to any other country, go to any other country. You see people managing the cows, but they are not Fulanis. But they deal with cow. So the mistake we have is, right from beginning, when Nigeria was established, everything was put in place. there is road for cattle, there is grazing reserve for grazing, there is land for farmers. So a Fulani man who is now known as a cattle rearer, which I'm telling you in Nigeria today is not a Fulani man only that rear cattle. Go to Flato, you see tribes like Tarok, they rear cattle. Go to Taraba, go to Adamawa, you see many other tribes who are not Fulani are into cattle business. Come to Southeast, some Igbo people now are into cattle business. They own cattle. That's how it should be. It's not a business of a Fulani man. But because they look at it as a Fulani man that moves around with cattle, is only Fulani man business. Why Fulani moves around from one place to another is they are looking for where to graze their cattle. Because a cattle is a huge number of cattle that you cannot go and cut grass and feed them. You have to move with them and look for where you can feed them.
Which brings me to, okay, I think I would speak with the South-South Zonal Coordinating Chairman of Mietiala, who is also here with us, Alhaji Yaumogodi. Sir, if you can help us, how we've seen, you mentioned, the national president mentioned some countries in the world. In these countries, the cattle are not moved around. And they have them in numbers. You go to Denmark where dairy is what they thrive on, and they don't move them around. They have them in areas.
Before he comes in,
okay,
what I want to tell you, I'm going somewhere.
Yes.
Why these people are moving around is because of changing of weather. For instance now, if you go to North, you cannot see any green grass. They don't have animal feed. So people that owns cow in that area, they have to move down to where they can get grasses. But what we are suggesting is, if we want to manage this crisis and let everybody have fish in country, let the grazing reserve that were allocated and still existing, let government utilize them and food grasses, food boreholes, industrial boreholes, grow grasses there. The plan is in Rivers State will remain in Rivers, the one in Jigawa will remain in Jigawa, the one in Lagos, in Kano, they will remain where they are, because in the grazing reserve there is a provision for grass and water, and that is what a cattle is looking for.
All right, quickly, let's come to you, sir, the South-South Coordinator of Mietiala. Alhaji, if you can explain for us, is it when a herder comes into a new environment with his cow, what does he do first? Because there are reports of you have herders that come in and perhaps do not have conversations with the locals or the authorities of communities, and then so they don't know which boundary, where not to go to, which place is for farm, which place is not, and then we have these issues. How does this work? How does Mietiala pass this information to educate the people that are herding their cows in different parts of the South-South?
Yes. My name is Alhaji Yaumogodi. I am a zonal chairman of Mietiala. And I did for Rivers State in South-South, let I say, about 34 years now for Rivers State. And this problem about we hear about the rumor, Fulani herdsmen, this and that is a polity. Why? I say it's a polity because all we grow meat farm. We grow, the farmer grow meat animals. Because this grazing, it will be only Fulani. Like in River State now, Igbo then have, Yoruba then have, Ingijin, Okore, Ijo, then have, we grazing together. Yeah. And any place, like you say, we go to how, or we reach a place, how we manage it, we can go meet the community. We reach the community, yes, or our cow damage, mistake enter, damage somebody property, let he tell us. Because me, the one bring the cow, like now I have a cow. Okay, yes, I know for local, my boys, please see, I am the one go meet the chief and the youth and the community of the place. Okay, yes, or anything happen, let them know, I know, because we can come manage the...
So which means before on our start, on our they meet the traditional ruler and people, and then they give on our area and tell on our where to...
Yes.
Okay, you will tell us more You tell us more, but let me just go on very short break. When we come back, you tell us more. We'll start with you so you can educate us more on how all of this works. The conversation continues on Nigeria Info. I know you have questions. When we return, we'll also open the phone lines and give you the opportunity to ask questions so we know what the association is doing following the order from the president to resolve this problem of cattle herders and farmers clashing across the country. Good morning.
Success is like a big
again, for those of us who missed from the beginning of the conversation, we have Alhaji Illiyasu Bulama, the National President, National Association of Cattle Dealers, Processors and Marketers of Nigeria. We also have the Miyetti Allah South-South Zonal Coordinating Chairman in the studio, Alhaji Yaumogodi, with us. And my good friend, the State Chairman of NACDPAMN, with us here in the studio as well this morning. And it's been very interesting. There's a lot that you're going to find out in the course of this conversation. And I'm sure many of us have questions that we want to ask. Well, we're going to give you the opportunity to ask all of those questions. Chief Godspower Weneda Amadi, AKJP, is the state chairman. Before we come to you, I'd like us to continue with Alhaji here, the South-South coordinator of Miyetti Allah. Alhaji, so before we go for that break, I mean, they ask you, waiting Miyetti Allah think say we need to do to solve this problem of cow eating people plants for their farm and farm people killing cow because cow enter their land. Waiting we go do to stop them.
What we do to stop that one?
Okay.
Let we get a ranch. Because we get a land, any local government to state government, let them open a grazing place. Where and anybody carry cow, they cannot keep it any place, is that place. Or you are Igbo, you are anybody. Let all we day together.
On no fit dey together buy land where on go use for our business.
No, we cannot get that power.
It's so
To buy?
so difficult.
No, it is difficult because now politics no gree break. They fit talk. That one is difficult. To go local government say we want a land to buy.
When we come to cattle ranch, a cattle ranch will occupy not less than 5 to 6, 7, 8, 10 hectares of land.
No,
because
about 10,000.
So
would that be for one person?
Yes. No. It's not gonna be for one person, and that is the reason why when this association come on board, we were soliciting. Even I went to Eche. This last problem that happened to Eche, I resolved that problem, and I asked the sole administrator to ensure that we have ranch, and we are going to solicit this all over the 23 LGAs that is having cattle in their AGAs, so that the AGA chairman will do well, the governor will do well, even the federal government to do well to ensure that, yes, they provide a ranch worth of these 10 acres of land. From 5 to 10 acres of land is manageable. So that if we have over 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 cows, we can put them there. And
so that would mean that anybody that owns a cow and you come to the state, that's where you go to stay with your cow.
Yes. And if you must go through the land, let them walk through the land. There are so many things that the government will have to do with us as an organization that is managing this aspect of livestock.
Okay, Mr. Amadi, quickly, let's hear from the national president. Sir, so tell us, why don't we know the faces of the people who own these businesses? I mean, there are several businesses in this country. We know the owners. But for the livestock industry, it's difficult for people to know who. We just know that, they are big men. They are senators. They are lawyers. They are this one, doctors. They are that. They are this. But we don't know who we can point to say, this cow business is owned by, like we know Dangote. We say, it's Dangote. We know, but we don't know that for the livestock industry. Why?
That is why the Ministry of Trade and Investment created this body to manage, to be an umbrella body of all the cattle value chain. We have registration of members, which will commence very soon. If you are into cattle business, you have to register with us. We will know you, we know your address, where you reside and what you do. If you have your private ranch, we need to get your data so that we know this ranch belongs to you. Why we want to do that?
What about those people that will be working for the owners of these cows?
I'm saying we are going for massive registration. That is why you see us with Miyetti Allah. That is why you see all with cattle breeders. That is why you see us with Alhaji. All these are association of cattle breeders who are into breeding. The registration we want to do If you are coming to Rivers now with your cattle, let's assume you leave another state, entering Rivers State. From the state you are living, we have our members. You are registered there. You have to now take a way bill from our association that you are from Abia State. You want to leave Abia, come to Port Harcourt to graze your cattle. Then that way bill will indicate that you are leaving Abia with 50 cows, with 1,000 cows to Rivers State. When you come to Rivers, our state chairman will now know, and the branch where the people will reside, they will now know you leave Abia with so amount of cattle. And the chairman will now accept you and give you a paper that, yes, you are from there and we know which you are now existing here. You will stay for so days. Why we want to do that is to sanitize the whole business. If somebody is coming outside and you didn't come with that particular paper from where you come, it means you are not a Nigerian. You are coming from somewhere trying to create problem in our country. Yeah. So you will be caught.
So in other words, there are people who are not Nigerians in Nigeria wearing cattle and causing problems.
Even Nigeria move outside Nigeria to go to other countries to do the business. But if you want to leave Nigeria, go another country, we'll give you that note. Yes, you are Nigerian, leaving Nigeria to so country. This is why you are going. We have that African connection.
Okay, let's take some calls so that we get some questions from the listener. 0817-923-0007, 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0007, 0817-923-0002. Let's just go straight to the question, please. The moment you call, tell us your name, where you're calling from, and just ask your question. All right, thank you. Good morning. Hello, good morning. Okay. Nigeria Info, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
All right, what's your name?
Okay, my name is John Benson. I'm calling from Obage community.
Okay. Go ahead with your question, please, and just go direct to your question.
Yeah. My question is that I overheard all he speaks about the Fulani, the cattle association, and the farmers. So my question is that, is the anti-grazing law in Rivers State work? And why not respect the anti-grazing law that was passed by the previous administration?
All right.
And another one is that it's very, very disheartening for somebody, personally myself, to do a cassava farm. And most of these cattle areas went and destroyed the farm. On personal business they are doing.
All right.
To buy a pieces of cow in Nigeria today.
Your point noted, question taken. I think I'll direct that to the South coordinator of Mieti Allah. So, Alhaji, I don't know if you know, I know you know, that Rivers State get law when say, you know if you carry cow, they waka for road from street to street.
I don't know. I know here.
Okay. But that law they
Okay.
say they know government say they don't allow people to the carry cow, they waka for main road, they waka from street to street, so keep them.
You know, cannot put law to the somebody you know call him, he don't know. I don't know. We can know here.
I can come in there.
Okay.
You see, yes, there was a law like that in Rivers State.
There is. There wasn't was still.
But
is.
the question is, how long did this law stand? How did they push this law to stand? That is the question. Even what happened at Eche, do you know that some people are even collecting money from the breeders to allow them to go inside the farm to also eat the crops? To even roam about the open grazing, they collect money. And when there is a law, and somebody go ahead to collect money by the roadside to ensure that, yes, he grant them that opportunity for them to do their open grazing. How can they lie? Nobody is questioning, nobody is asking, nobody is even following it up. How then can the law stand?
All right. Ken from Ubimini, good morning.
Can you hear me?
All right, go straight to your question, please.
Yes, and my question goes to this. For how long has this organization or association And where? Which community, which local government and state do they have their offices? Because there's no change. They just started this organization. While we have been suffering of being experiment. That's my question. Thank you very much.
All right, Ken, thank you. Would respond. Let's just add JJ to it quickly. JJ from Rumigbo, please go on with your question.
No, I don't have a question. I just want to do a suggestion.
Quickly.
Whether we like it or not, we must create a place for these people to do their business. You know that it's government that built my 3, my 1, whatever market that we have right now, even the ones, the sell spare parts in Sokoto and all those put together. Even local government must create a place for these people to keep their cow so that they don't roam. So that when you put a law that any cow you see roaming, you just forfeit it, and that will be all. If you don't separate these two people, the cows will also go there to eat up this thing, and problem will continue.
All right,
Let's
JJ.
separate them according to Jonathan. The yam and the goat must be separated.
Thank you very much. Let's go to the national president of Mr. Illiyasu. Please, the question about your offices, somebody asked. Can you tell us about that?
One, he asked about when the association exists. This association was registered 2021. Like I told you, it's an umbrella body of cattle value chain to champion the business, to put things in order, to sanitize the business.
Okay. Temple from Eche, quickly, good morning. Go ahead with your question.
Good morning, the very distinguished Femi Andrew.
All right, go on, Temple.
First of all, I one person who does not and who will never agree that what is happening between the farmers and herders is all about politics. It's all about encroachment, and when people say no, don't do this, it becomes a problem. And for me, looking at what he has said in terms of having greener pastures and what have you.
Temple, hold on, please. If you can make it short, we don't have a lot of time. So,
make it short.
And just ask the question.
And one who is intending making profit, get a land for themselves and for their business. Than waiting for the local government to do that. Can they at themselves get a land? We know that lands are being owned by individuals and families. Approach a family and get a land and do your business. Why you get grasses to that place? Can they do it? Thank you.
All right. Muriel in Okrika will come to you. Good morning. Hello, Muriel.
Hello, Timmy. Good morning.
Okay, let's hear you. Your question, please.
Thank you, Timmy. This is your Okrika woman. Look, I like the fact that the president highlighted the benefits of the cow, and that is how the food produce are also beneficial to us. Look, you see me, because there existed a very wonderful relationship between farmers and herders. You know, there was a situation where after the farmers have adjusted their cost, then it was just a negotiation, a process. Then the herders will know, they will invite them to come and eat the stuff that the children are doing with the grass, they will gather it for them. And the extra from the cow will also fertilize the new ground, for farming. It was a mutual relationship. I want to ask the president, can this relationship begin? Can they know the cattle, can they be prevented from going to the farm?
All right, Miriam, I think we'll respond to that after we get Magnus on the line. Magnus from our 3, good morning.
Thank you so much.
All right, your question, please.
Very quickly, your guest said that they are going to do registration so that if you're carrying cattle from Kaduna to Port Harcourt, if you're carrying 50 cows, it will be registered. So in the process, when you register 50 cows from Kaduna to Port Harcourt, on the process, the cattle may be born or deliver other ones. How are they going to account for those ones that the cow has, born or delivered on the process? Then you talk about laws. We have that law in the Rivers State. You know that there's a law like that in the Rivers, and you force yourself to a particular environment, having known that there's a law, who should be arrested first? Thank you so much.
All right, Magnus, thank you. I don't know, Mr. Amadi, if you want to respond to that, since you are here in the state. Yes. Okay, let's hear you.
Okay, like what he's saying in respect of this law of 18. Yes, who is to be arrested? Before these cows come into this state, the government of the day is aware, and they also see it. And then I want to also say, where is the reporting center if something happens? Where is the reporting center which the government...
No, shouldn't that be the police?
Okay, now, how many of them has reported to police? This is the question. And then if we ourselves, if anything happen, we report to police. And police, like OKH, that matter was reported to police. And when it was reported to police, and I believe that the DPO call their attention to stop the actions of what they are doing. Even if the cow eat your crops, what do we supposed to do? The simplest thing is just to go to police and report. And that cow will be arrested since they have put up that this thing. But they failed to do that one. What they did was to go straight to be killing the cow. Is it the best solution to make peace?
Okay, make we hear from the Mietiala South coordinator. So in Neche, like that's been mentioned now, the report is that people cannot go to farm. That now they even have some of the headers in occupying some of these bushes in the farms in the bush, and they will carry guns and so on. And it got to a point where in some communities now, the people, they need to bribe or collect levy from the community people before they allow them go farm. No, it's Mietiala, and I don't hear about that kind of thing.
No, me I don't hear that. And the day we go with him to Iche, to the DPO, nobody start say, see how I pay before I go my farm.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot hear.
And who they pay
report.
To? And who they pay to?
Only anybody stand, he say, no, we know one.
Not
crop. Where the crop?
Even not only that, we were also told that they were harvesting cassava, and which they went there to see the site of the event, and lo and behold, there was nothing like.
This person, Teacher Grace, says, so you mean the herders can't get a ranch in their base? Do they have, is it necessary to move to other states? Well, constitutionally, there's a right to freedom of movement. You can move and do business in any parts of the country. Let's come to the national president, Mr. Illiyasu. You want to respond?
Yeah, like he says, I just mentioned that there are grazing reserve, which is there mapped in Nigeria, the route and everything. Why? Because they know, as we human beings survive, we have to eat, drink. Same thing with animals. They have to survive. They can only survive if they graze and drink water. When God created human being, he created animal. We were created together to live together for our own purpose, for our own use. So we have to find a provision for that. That is why we are saying, as we have new Ministry of Livestock, their core mandate must be, where there are grazing reserve, let them utilize the grazing reserve, food grasses, food water. So let the Fulanis and anybody that is interested in cattle business keep his cow there. Let him remain in that particular grazing reserve. The day he's removing his cow from the reserve, he's going to market. It will be as easy as that. If a Fulani man or anybody that deals with cattle have grass, he don't need to move because he's suffering. It's because he didn't have the grass. The only way to handle the cattle, he must go and fight feed for the cattle. So if this provision is there, all this thing is solved, and it's very simple. This should be the number one mandate of Ministry of Livestock.
Okay.
Let them concentrate in the grazing reserve and the route.
Okay. All right, Alhaji, South Coordinator, Mietiala. So what you will tell us as we finish, with the wrap up? Waiting, you won't talk about these allegations and accusations, because many people don't say Mietiala self, their part, no they talk true or no they try in how then they manage this problem.
No, anybody tell you it's wrong, because number one, we will stay for bush within the cow, and it's our business. Anybody come within the business is join us. We do business together.
Now only Mietiala be the association when
no.
Other ones, all of them they work together.
Yes. Now, because of this new creation of the Ministry of Livestock now, it was instructed that all the group should come together as one under this NACDPAMN, National Association of Cattle Dealers, Processors and Marketers of Nigeria. And since inception of this inauguration of this body, in fact, see, most of the problem we are having, there is no ministry for livestock.
But I think we do now. We have the ministry it's the Federal Ministry of Livestock Development, established by President Tinubu, July 9, 2024.
Thank you very much. It is because as a result of that is why you see this body today.
Okay.
Has it been existing before?
All
so
right.
who is in control? Nobody.
Okay.
It's just a mere talk on the
That's the
but
much
today we have come.
That's how much we can handle, gentlemen. Thank you very much again to the National President of NACDPAMN, Alhaji Illiyasu Bulama. Thank you very much, sir. The South Zonal Coordinating Chairman of Mieti Allah. Thank you also for your time with us. We also have the State Chairman of NACDPAMN with us, Mr. Ahmadi. Thank you for your time, but we have to wrap things up here, gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
Have a great day. We'll go for a commercial. Hello, Port Harcourt is next.
Thank you.